Good morning, it's Melissa with Meraki Healing Arts with the Affirmations for a Badass. I actually already did the shuffle and I've had to stop the video and restart the video. So I guess I got a little triggered back in memories when I started my rambling talking about the card and my perspective on the card. So the card that came out was I am my own cheerleader. And yeah, that really, it took me back in a lot of thought about, feeling like, my whole life I've had to be that. I've had to be my own cheerleader, and I'm sure that a lot of you have as well. So, grew up with some really toxic family and friends around me, had to learn to fight for myself. Started working when I was 11, so I'd have money for school clothes and school supplies while my dad was laid off. Had to tell myself that I was worthy of all the great things in life. So had a father who was just very old-fashioned in his beliefs, that women didn't need to go to school. Women didn't need to have a career. Women were solely meant to be a wife and a mother and a homemaker and not have any of their own dreams, aspirations, or goals outside of that. And yeah, I guess I am going to share this. So there was a point where we had moved out of state and were living out near St. Louis, and I finished up all of my high school years were either living out in Belleville, Illinois, or St. Charles, Missouri. Both of them were close to St. Louis, but my dad didn't want us living in the big bad city, so we rented houses in those locations while he was transferred out to the St. Louis factory that he was working at. But in any event, I finished high school out there, didn't know anybody really, and I had the brilliant idea in my head that I wanted to stay out there and not move back to our home state when he was finally coming back, because I wanted to achieve something. I wanted to go to college. And man, I remember this day like it was nothing. He was so angry and controlling and told me that no way was I staying out there, going to school, living on my own. Women didn't need to go to college. Women didn't need to go to school. And if I tried to stay out there and be independent, that he would literally beat my ass, lock me in the trunk, and make me come back to Ohio in the trunk of the car the whole way home if he had to. Talk about putting the, they call it the fear of God in you. So in life, I had to fight past that ideology of you can only be this. You can only be what we tell you you can be. We're going to put you in a box and we're going to say this is what you're allowed to do, be, or accomplish. And you're not allowed to be anything else. So I hear friends talk about that when they talk about my spiritual beliefs are different from my family. They wouldn't understand. They want me to go to this church or that church or believe the way that they believe. Yeah, I not only had to fight through all that, but just fight for my own spiritual beliefs, my own female empowerment, my own right to believe that, because I also had a racist family, that I don't care about race. I care about the person and how they treat me. So, if I want to date somebody of another race or marry someone of another race, then I'll be damned. I don't really care what you say. And I was very fearful of the physical backlash from my father when I grew up, that I had to hide, my first My first real boyfriend who treated me good, I had to hide my feelings for him and my relationship with him because I was literally afraid of being physically beaten just for talking to that person. And all we ever did was hold hands at school and pass a lot of love notes and sneak kisses at the locker, and through most of that relationship. But anyway, so I am my own cheerleader. You know, there's a lot of us in life that had to learn to be that for ourselves. So don't ever let anyone tell you that you can't be or do who you truly, authentically are. If you have a dream to go to school or own a business, or if you have family who don't hold the same beliefs on masculine or feminine roles, on whatever it is, don't let people put you in a big old box and limit who you are and what you can become. Be your own cheerleader, because if you don't do it, if you don't fight for yourself, who the hell else is going to? So you're damn right I am my own cheerleader, and I will always continue to be my own cheerleader. I don't care how many people turn their back on me for just being myself. Took me a long, hard time to be okay with being me, and I'll be damned if anybody is ever going to tear me down and tell me that I'm not fabulous just being who I am. So I had enough of that in my life, and I will never, ever, ever accept anyone else saying you can't be this, or you're not enough, and we're going to put you in a box. Okay, I'm not what is one of my favorite sayings? I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but that's all right. I'm coffee. I know that I am strong and I am brave. I may not always feel it, but I will always push past fear. If I want to do something or I want to accomplish something, by God, I'll do it. So if you don't like the person that I am, that's okay. Something else I say, if I'm too much for you, go find your less. It took me a long time, a lot of bad relationships or whatever, and breaking through some negative mindsets before I would fully say, damn it, Missy, you better be your own cheerleader, because you're all you've got. You're all you've got. So that's my perspective on our badass affirmation of the day. Be your own cheerleader. Fight for the life that you want, because if you don't, no one else will, and you don't have anyone else to blame if you don't accomplish or achieve the things that you want, whatever that is. So have a beautiful day.